second. I'm checking my live. Make sure this is good to go and actually mute myself. Okay, so hey beauties. If you are new here, my name is Exandria. And on this channel, I talk about self-improvement. I talk about a lot of things, but my main focus is self-improvement. I love reading books and what else I should know, clothing, and just sharing my life experiences as an introvert, and how I'm improving that myself. But today I really want to honestly meet a goal of going live and building that relationship with you. And I wanted to talk about this book right here. As you can see, it's been read through a few times. Well, I haven't read the whole book a few times fully. I've read the book one time, but I always take notes. And I just wanted to talk about the book and why you should read it. I highly recommend. So, and then I also took notes of what. So this book is by Tabitha Brown. The name of it is Feeding the Soul, because it's my business, finding our way to joy, love, and freedom. And if you don't know about Tabitha Brown, where have you been? Oh my goodness, where have you been? So Tabitha Brown, what would I describe her as? I feel like she's a vegan. First of all, that's how she got her start. I don't know that she a vegan or vegetarian, but that's how she got her start. She talks about her faith and why it is so important to her, her finding joys in the simple things of life, and also just minding your business before you get into anybody else's. And she started her journey by being she took on veganism to improve her health. In the book, she talks about how she has had health problems, and that's something you can read on your own in the book. She talks about how she has had health problems, and when she decided to go vegan, how that has helped her so much with her health. So, where am I at? So, I love how transparent Tabitha is in this book. And I have bookmarked a few things that I wanted to say, but I think the back one was the most important to me. So I'm going to share that part first. So, all right, we can start from the beginning, honestly. I think I have my sticky notes. So one of the first ones that I absolutely love, the title of the chapter is Your Gifts, Your Business. And I went to go see Tabitha Brown in person, I don't know when, some past months ago. And so I'm going to just read an expert. She says, let's go. Listen, we were born with gifts, talents, and abilities in order to use them. Not to let them stay dormant inside of us, not to be silent about them, not to carry them right on to the grave without doing anything with them. There's an adage that says the richest place in the world is the cemetery. Too many people leave this world without ever letting their brilliance and creativity see the light of day. Don't you dare be one of them. Start using those gifts and watch your world start to change. And that resonates with me so much because a lot of people have a lot of gifts. They have a lot of gifts. And I'm one of those people that can see someone's gift and be like, I wish they could see it for themselves. And speaking from my personal experience, I'm always like, I get an idea, I just do it because I don't want to be. You can have fears, but I always say, let what if be your greatest fear. What if? Like, what if I did do that public speaking engagement? What if I did, what would have happened? My biggest fear when I was growing up, it was public speaking. You could not pay me to public speak. You could not pay me to present awards. You could not pay me to talk in front of people at all. But once I started, I remember self-reflecting, like, why am I so scared to speak in front of people? And I had this Why am I so scared to speak in front of people? I did some self reflection. I wanted to get great at public speaking. For whatever reason, I always felt like I was called to speak in public. Like I'm supposed to be using my voice. This is the devil trying to silence my voice because why am I quiet? I must have a lot to say. Even though I don't want to say it, I don't want to speak in front of people. And then I always would tell myself, if not me, then who? So I do feel like I do have a gift of public speaking. I do have a gift of being able to talk to people and encourage them to take that next step when they aren't the most encouraged. So that's what I'm saying. And another gift of mine, I love dressing up. I've just gotten into that on YouTube. And I always feel like I'm not the dressiest person, or I don't shop at the most expensive places. But just stepping out on faith, it just has helped me so much. Even if it didn't go well, the lessons learned from stepping out on faith are so worth it. Trusting in God, even when I left my job that I was with at 5 years and I felt God telling me to leave it, it took me so long because I didn't have the faith to do so. Like I wanted everything to be prepared. Like, God, you need to send me an answer right away, but that's not how it worked. So that's the first biggest takeaway. My next one, um, she talks about keep believing, even when things are not going the way you thought they would go or how they should go. And God has placed this thing that you are supposed to do on your heart, but it's just not panning out the way it wants to. I really love, she says, it's okay to be discouraged. It's natural, but in discouragement, find your courage. Find the courage to keep going. Very good things don't happen overnight. I'm a witness, honey. Look, you gotta say, I'm a witness, honey. Remember, it took me 23 years. A friend of mine said, a friend of mine once says, can you imagine if 23 years ago, God said to you, listen, I will give you every dream your heart desires, but you need to give me 23 years. Would you have said yes, or would you have said, that is crazy? I ain't going to be waiting no 23 years. There's no way for me to know the answer to that, but I do know I did. Even when I tried to give up, the call on my life was so strong. That thing that lived inside of me would continue to jump out and grab me again and say, no, you have to keep going. And this resonated with me so much, the fact of you have to keep going, because I'm not where I feel the Lord has called me to be, or where I want to be in life, or the picket, the rainbow, the gold at the end of the rainbow. I haven't reached it yet, but I have learned to celebrate the joys within every accomplishment. So even in this moment, if I'm talking on live, there would be a moment that I would not have ever gone live before. That is something to celebrate. And I always feel like God calls me to talk all the time. Exandria, you need to talk. Exandria, you need to speak up. Exandria, you need to talk about this thing. You need to show your face on this thing. And what I'm working on is putting myself in the forefront. Like I'm tired, not tired. What's the word? It's time for me to stop being in the background. Like it's time for me to step out in front of the scene so people can see my face. Like people need to know Exandria. God wants people to know Exandria. God wants people to know Exandria's story. Exandria has to open up her mouth and share her story to inspire or ignite change in the next person that's coming up, the person beside me, or the person in front of me, whoever I'm supposed to be impacting. In order to do that, I have to talk. I have to share my story. I have to put my joy into the world, put my advice into the world, and once again, put my story into the world. And I always go back to public speaking because that is something I'm so proud that I am overcoming, fear of public speaking. So, well, fun fact, did you know that 75% of people have a fear of public speaking? And I would like to celebrate that I am no longer one of those. I have overcome that and I can speak with confidence, okay? I recently just spoke in front of 300 people with confidence, and I had them laughing. Okay, period, point blank. Don't play with Exandria. But I wonder if God were to tell me, Xandra, when you are 30 years old, this is when you'll be able to speak in front of people. This is when you will be speaking to students. You will be leading groups, workshops. You're going to actually be on a nonprofit board. You're going to be a part of a process. If he were to tell me that this would happen 15 years later, would I have been ready for God's plan over my life? No, I would be like, that's not me, Lord. So what are you doing? So I'm glad that God does not tell us our plans or what he has for us, because a lot of us, well, speaking for myself, I would be scared and I'd be like, well, I guess we're going to change the plan up a bit. Um, the next one in the book, it's, what chapter is this? Don't you know? This is not the show up and let the blessings be the motivation is the title of this chapter. And I have in my tab right here, it says, just start, baby, just start. If you don't know, my biggest pet peeve is when people ask for permission. I don't like when people ask for permission because you don't need, and if God puts something on your heart, just do it. What do I say? Pray, plan, prepare, proceed. And I got that from a podcast by Kimberly Lawson. Podcast is good. Pray, plan, prepare, proceed. The 4 P's. And I hate when people, I dislike when people ask, should, if I start this boutique, will you guys shop at it? Majority of the time, the people that say they're going to shop, they ain't. If you waiting on people to support you, you'll be waiting forever. That's my biggest pet peeve. And if I can tell you anything, it's just to start. Just to start and start building a community. A community is bigger than anything. I just stopped and started so many things, but I noticed my community keeps growing and my community keeps supporting me. And they be like, Xandra, you switch from this to that, you need to stop. Or no, they don't say you need to stop, but they do support. And so in this one, I said, which part was it? It said, listen, just start, baby. I firmly believe that if God places something in your spirit and you think of it more than twice a day, you're supposed to do something with it. What a wonderful way to live life. And something that has been on my mind, and if y'all are rewatching this after this is posted, after this live is posted, I've been wanting it's been on my heart to do a content creation day because people always ask me about creating content. If you don't know, I used to be a social media manager, and people always ask me about how to create content. They don't know what to post. And for me, I think it's the easiest thing. Like, there's a lot of tools out here that can just give you your content creation plan. Chat GPT, it's a lot of AI. But they want to know, how I don't even know what to record or where to start. And what's been on my mind is to have a content creation workshop. And I've had 3 people ask me to throw one. It's been on my mind to do it. And I need to do it. But I'm going to pray about it first. But that is something that has been on my heart that I need to start. And I actually just came across a location. I'm like, this would be good for a content creation day for people who don't know what to post or people who struggle with knowing what to post. And that's something that's been on my heart. It's been on my head more than twice a day. So I am going to be doing it when, I don't know. And the next one that I actually, let's see. I don't know if I only got 3 more to go. It says, I put in here, tell your story. Tell your story. And nobody can tell it like you. It says, this chapter is Secrets Make Us All Sick. And when it comes to tell your story, that also means to be in charge of your narrative. I had a friend of mine, shout out to Dr. Sade Burrell, tell me, be in charge of your own narrative. And one tip that she did give me, if you have a trauma story that you want to respect the people that are in your story. My friend Dr. Sade Burrell told me, they had mental illness, because they will spin that into crackhead, and other negative stuff, that if you love, you still love these people that were a part of your trauma story, or you're part of your story in general. Just say, my parents were dealing with a mental illness, my friend was dealing with a mental illness at that time, and so, dress it up. But she says, tell your story. Let's see. Okay, I gotta start from the beginning. Or maybe not. It says, acting like that thing never happened, even if it hurts, is not the way to live free. If anything keeps you even more bound, it stunts your growth. Open your mouth, honey. Tell your story. You never know whose chains you'll unlock by having the courage to tell your truth. And you may even unlock your own. And that resonates with me so much with telling your story, because if you don't know, I am an introvert, maybe an ambivert, depending on who I am around. I have been told so many times that being quiet is a negative, being shy is a negative. You won't succeed, you won't grow your business if you are quiet and you don't open up to people. And as a Black woman, I felt like that was really put on me to embody the typical stereotype of being a Black woman that society pushes, like being loud. I don't even know if the stereotype even exists, because I feel like it exists in all ethnicities, races, whatever you want to call it. So telling your story, and I always share my introverted story because for so long I thought being an introvert was bad. I thought that I needed to talk more to thrive. I thought that I needed to be this person that wasn't really me. Even for an example, I'm showing cleavage now, a little bit of cleavage, but the people that I used to hang around, they showed their cleavage. So I'm like, let me show my cleavage. And I would be uncomfortable for the entire night. I'm going like this because I'm showing my cleavage and I really don't want to show my cleavage. But telling that story to other introverts that may be thinking, something is wrong with me because I'm introverted. Nothing is wrong with you at all whatsoever. You are perfectly fine. And me telling that story, I feel empowered. I feel that I'm helping the next person. And I posted a YouTube video of thriving in society as a Black woman introvert. I didn't think it was going to do much. I'm sure I prayed before I posted the video, like, Lord, let it reach who it's supposed to reach. Let it impact who it's supposed to impact. And me telling my story as a Black woman introvert and sharing my experiences impacted a lot of women. And I'm so happy that I put that video out. I'm so happy that God gave me the courage to talk about my experiences to y'all, and that it helps you feel like you're not weird. You're just different. And it's okay to be bougie. It's okay to give silent treatment and not want to conversate with people. So this chapter where Tabitha says just to tell your story, open up your mouth. You don't know who you're impacting is so true. So if you have a story to tell, please tell it. I'm nosy and I like to feel encouraged a little bit. No, all the time. So let's see. The next one, I want to find how long I've been on here. Oh, 20 minutes. Okay. I haven't been on that long. So the next one is freedom is knowing you're enough. The chapter is freedom knowing that you're enough. And what was it that I highlighted? It says, sometimes as we grow, we would inevitably shed some folk naturally from our lives, but losing them isn't going to stunt your growth. Nope, not one single bit. You're going to keep growing. When I comb Donna, so Donna is Tabitha's hair. When I comb Donna, I always find that fine hair that had shed in the comb. It's like the hair had no more purpose for my head. It would be foolish of me to try to force each one of those hairs. Force each one of those hairs back into my head right. They would just keep falling out. So I I did a video recently, like audit your friend circle. Audit your friend circle. I don't think that gets talked about enough because you can either be moving forward with your friends, you can either stay stagnant with your friends, or you can take a few steps back with your friends. It's so important to audit your friend circle. I remember I did an audit on my friend circle, and I also wrote in my journal the type of people that I want surrounding me. I don't want to be the smartest in the room. I don't want to be smart. So I want to always be around people who are helping me grow. And I don't always want to feel like I don't like feeling bad for progressing. And once I start feeling bad for progressing in life, it's time to let you go. I'm not sorry. It's time to let you go. I'm not a person that likes to stay stagnant. I'm a person who likes to grow. I'm a person that likes to help people who wants to be helped and are actually, when I help them, they take the steps because I hate my time being wasted. But let's go to the next one in the book. So the title of this chapter in Tabitha's book is Take Your Time, Do It Right. And this resonated with me because I've recently been getting some brand emails, and I'm always like, I don't want to just take a brand or collaborate with a brand. And I also want to be mindful that even though my platform isn't big yet, I always know it's going to impact somebody. I know that somebody's watching me. I have little cousins that look up to me that are watching me on the low, that always ask me questions. And I was like, I had a brand deal, and I said, I don't want to promote. It was from a color contacts one, and it was a fast fashion one. I don't want to promote somebody to get some colored contacts and then their eyes are damaged. I don't want to promote that type of stuff, even though this would be good to grow. Or would it be good? No, I didn't want to do that. And also, I wanted to stay away from fast fashion because I want my audience to know you can get quality clothing. I love thrift shopping. I was going to love thrift shopping, but I also want my audience to know you can get great quality clothing from the thrift store if you cannot afford like the name brand stuff. I really, really want to stay away from fast fashion. I'm growing out of that. And I also need to get more educated on the definition of fast fashion because it's going to be the fast fashion police in the comments. I ain't got time to deal with that. But she says, what does it say? We keep growing and we keep learning. Don't ever sacrifice your soul. That's what rushing will push you to do sometimes. It will have you taking opportunities that go against everything you stand for and believe in. Don't do that. Keep working. Turn those 10, 15, or yes, even 23 years into overnight success story. So that is what I mean. Like, I don't want to just be taking any brand deal. I don't want to take fast fashion brand deals. I don't want to be taking color contacts and then somebody purchases them and something happened with their eye. No, I am very much not going to be promoting anything for a check. So the next one is take your hands off and let it go. So why did I put this here? Okay, it says it's amazing how quick things can change in your life when you decide to embrace who you are. Okay, that's why I did it. And just let other stuff go. There's something awesome about submitting your will to the Spirit and letting God guide your life. You're likely to find yourself in places and doing things you could have never imagined before. When I started doing vegan videos, all I had was my word from God. I didn't think anyone was really going to watch. It was just important for me to release all the things that I'd allowed to hold me back and be obedient. The Spirit said to do videos. Tab did videos. The Spirit said to tell people what and how I ate once I went vegan. Tab told y'all what and how I ate. So that's why I put it. Now I remember why I put the highlighted thing there. Because God tells me if I get a video on my mind, I'm like, damn, I got to make this video. And if it keeps coming up, make the video. So even when I'm going live right now, God told me, you need to be going live. You need to be talking to the people, even if it's about books or whatever it is. Even if one person shows up, you need to be talking. I've always been told to talk, and I've always been told to share my story, especially my introverted story, and just embracing who you are. I always felt like I had to pretend to be this person that I really wasn't. And Now I show up as my authentic self, and I love that for myself, and I want you to do the same thing. Um, so if God is telling you to do something and you're scared, just do it. Do it to the best of your abilities. I always say if I can show up to work looking my best and giving my best, I can show up to fulfill God's will over my life, looking my best and doing it to the best of my abilities. And it has worked out well for me thus far. If you go back into my YouTube videos, I was doing, what was I doing? I was doing my virtual assistant social media help thing, trying to, get clients. And I can tell the difference between when I'm talking about fashion and telling my story of being an introvert, giving helpful tips, or talking about my faith, of how, it wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't cringe. So when I look at my videos now, I'm like, yes, who is that? That's Exandria. So show up as who you are. But that is what I loved about that part. And then this is the last one. I'm trying to make it to 30 minutes, y'all. What does it say? It says, I know it's scary to, let's see, I know it's scary, okay, some of the fear that has to do with our needs. Okay, I know it's scary, okay. Some of that fear has to do with our need to be in control. We think we know what's best for us, but sometimes we have to step back and say, God, I trust you. I'm scared, but I'm trusting you. Some of the biggest moves you're ever going to make are the ones that scare you while you're making them. Even if your legs are trembling and your hands are shaking, or if your voice is shaking, when I used to be talking in public, keep going. I promise you, baby, there is light on the other side. You woke up today, right? Touch your heart right now. Is it beating? And of course it is. God meant for you to be here today. We are burying people every day. Folks are leaving here. I honestly believe that no matter how young or old a person is, when they leave this earth, their work was done. Every day we wake up means we still have work to do. You're still here, baby. So what are you going to do with that? And that is so much. That is so true. Like, every time I'm scared, or if my voice is trembling, if I'm shaking, if I'm anxious, I go to prayer and I say, God, I trust you. Well, this is what Tab said. She said, I trust you. I'm scared, but I'm trusting you. I always say, Lord, give me the strength. I rebuke all the fears, the anxiety, the shaky voice, the feelings of not feeling enough. Lord, I trust you in this moment, and I trust that please allow for your will to be done through me, and for me to say what you want me to say, and for people to take it in as I am saying it. So everything, if anything, if I could recommend anything, if you're finna do something that you're really scared about, is to pray before you do it. It has helped me a lot. Especially when I used to go, well, I'm going live now, but when I used to go live a lot to get over my fear of public speaking, when I speak in front of people, even when I am writing something or planning to do something, I always just say, God, please just guide me. Because there'd be a lot of thoughts going on in my head, and I need to focus in on his voice and his voice and only his voice when I'm doing these things. So if you are thinking about reading this book, I highly recommend reading it. There was a lot of gems dropped, and what I really love about Miss Tabitha's story is that hers took 23 years, and I want to say she was 42 or 40 when everything started to pop off. So if you are on that road and you like, I'm on that road of like, when is it going to happen? When is it my turn? But I am where I'm supposed to be at this point in time, because if I look back, when I look back, and I've gotten everything that I have right now, which I am so grateful for, way back when, younger Exandria, she was not ready at all. She would have definitely, what you call it when you freak out for, when you're, I don't know the thing, but hold on. I got something else. So if you're watching this now, or even if you're watching this later, I want you to grab a piece of paper and just write down what you are grateful for. I think sometimes we get so stuck in what we don't have that we don't try to recognize what we do have. And I'm actually going to write down what I am grateful. Well, I can say it too. One thing that I am grateful for, and I always say this, I am so grateful to have vision and sight to see, but not only have vision and sight to see, but also to be able to see in color a lot of things that we take for granted. So I'm so happy for, so grateful for vision, clear vision. You know, I don't have to wear glasses, hopefully not in the future, but I'm just so grateful for my vision, just to see God's creation in its full color. Even to hear God's creation is just, I'm so grateful for that. What else? So that is all. Y'all made it to 30 minutes. The introverted me that don't like to talk to nobody, that made it to 30 minutes on this live. But let me know if you have any questions about Miss Tabitha's book, Feeding the Soul, because it's my business. I would gladly answer them in the comments, and let me know in the comments what you are grateful for. I would love to know, because a lot of times I used to be one of the people that didn't know what to say to be grateful for, besides the basic, like, thanks for waking me up, thanks for food, thanks for roof over my head. And that's good too, but sometimes we can forget other things to be grateful for. Thank you all for watching. Once again, if you are new here or if you come upon this live, my name is Xandria. And on this channel, I talk about a lot of things, but mainly my faith, being an introvert and being an introvert, a Black woman introvert and thriving in life, and also giving style tips from my own personal style. And yeah, but thank y'all for watching my second live on YouTube. I plan to do many more. Plan to do many more. So thank you all for watching. And yeah, bye. Now let me see if I can X this.